What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I've got another Black Ops 4 video, this time talking about the health in the game. And something I've been seeing float around in the community a ton lately is why not drop the health from 150 to 125, so there's that happy middle ground between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4's time to kill. This is a topic I wanted to discuss. First up, I do want to explain how that isn't something that's viable to do. And second, I'm going to be sharing a few other alternatives that could potentially be done to find that happy middle ground in time to kill. So first up, dropping the health to 125. Why is this not a viable option? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Currently, the damage values for all of the weapons and their ranges are very carefully balanced and fine-tuned for those individual weapons so that they all fit into the meta properly. One great example of this is the ICR in Black Ops 4. The ICR, when you're not shooting a player in the head, you're just shooting them regularly in the body, it's kind of like an average at best sort of weapon. It's got an okay time to kill in relation to the other guns, but it doesn't really excel in the time to kill department. However, the ICR-7 has a 37 damage, and this is significant with 150 health, because what this means is landing one single headshot without high caliber. Keep in mind there is no high caliber available for the ICR-7, but one single headshot will now reduce the number of shots it takes to kill by 1. This is one of the primary characteristics of the ICR-7 in this game, is it really rewards accuracy without having to spend a point on an attachment like high caliber. When you compare this to something like the Rampart 17, for instance, that gun doesn't gain any benefit from headshots unless you're using the high caliber attachment, and that's what keeps those guns unique and balanced with each other. This is also the main reason that they've increased the health to 150, is it gives them more integers to work with so that they can do things like that, where some guns can benefit from headshots when other ones don't benefit from headshots, and all of this stuff ties together to create a meta. If you did something so simple as drop the health by 25 points, it would throw everything out of order completely, because some guns would actually not benefit from that at all. It would still take the same number of shots to kill as it currently does in Black Ops 4, but other guns would take one less shot to kill, and therefore the balance between those two guns is now thrown out of whack because everything else is balanced around the fact that that one gun is supposed to kill one bullet faster than the other gun, but now they're killing in the same amount of shots. We actually saw this very same issue in Infinite Warfare. In that game, they added the Tactical Mosh Pit playlist, and with that playlist, it was boots on the ground, so you couldn't be boost jumping and everything like that, but another thing that they did with this is they simply reduced the health to 70 points. This threw gun balance pretty much completely out the window. We saw a different meta emerge in that game mode. There were several guns that were pointless to ever use because they gained no benefit from this, whereas other ones gained a ton of benefit from this. A prime example of this is the Volk, which was a 3-shot kill assault rifle. In that tactical mode, it was still a 3-shot kill assault rifle, whereas the NV4 was a 4-shot kill assault rifle in standard modes, but in Tactical Mosh Pit, now it was also a 3-shot kill. The NV4 had a noticeably faster fire rate. The NV4 had a noticeably faster fire rate than the Volk for obvious reasons, because if a Volk is killing in 3 shots and the NV4 is killing in 4 shots, then it makes sense that the NV4 has a faster fire rate. When you bring this into the tactical mode though, and they both kill in the same number of bullets, that made the Volk a completely useless gun in that mode. It threw the meta off completely. Also, when they first made that change, the M1 Garand was balanced so it had a 70 damage, and this means that gun could one-shot kill people, and that also threw off balance completely. As a result, in that Tactical Mosh Pit mode, we saw almost no weapon variety because there were some clear winners and clear losers when it comes to the weapon balance. That can be acceptable in a side mode like a Tactical Mosh Pit playlist, but for the full game, that's unacceptable to have that. So if Black Ops 4 were to suddenly just reduce the health to 125 from 150, we would see a similar story. Certain guns would be completely overpowered, and other guns would be essentially useless. I also wanted to throw in here something that a lot of people don't realize is that increased health from 100 to 150, that's not increasing our time to kill by 50%. They have adjusted damage values accordingly, so it's generally going to take exactly one extra bullet, assuming the enemy player isn't using armor. It's going to take one extra bullet compared to Black Ops 3. So it's not like it's going to take 50% more bullets, it's one single bullet. So splitting the difference there doesn't really work because you can't make half bullets. So that's not a viable option. However, there are a couple options that could have an impact on the time to kill, because realistically, when people are asking for that lowered health, they're not really so much asking for lowered health. The thing they're really looking for is a slightly faster time to kill and some sort of a compromise between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4's time to kill. So one option that sounds great on paper but might not work out so well in practice that could potentially be done to find that middle ground between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 time to kill is have body multipliers. As we all know, when you shoot somebody in the head in Call of Duty, your gun deals a little bit more damage. Why not also do this with the body? What they could do is they could have it so the arms and legs are the current damage values for Black Ops 4. So it's still going to be that slow time to kill if you're shooting them in the arms or legs, but if you shoot them in the chest, they could have new damage values or multipliers. They would have to be individually tuned per weapon most likely. But these body multipliers would make it so it takes one less shot to kill, just like in Black Ops 3. On paper, like I said, this sounds great because then more skilled players would be rewarded more because you'd be rewarded for hitting accurate shots towards center mass, and you'd be punished for shooting people in the limbs. In practice, on the other hand, I don't think this would work out too well, and I think it would just lead to even more inconsistency in the number of shots it takes to kill, and people tend to really fight back against inconsistency, which is one of the big reasons there's been such a big backlash against armor in this game. So that's the first option. I think it sounds really cool on paper, but not likely to work. Also, it would be a ton of work to change that because you'd have to find individual multipliers for certain guns to make sure that they were still balanced. The other option, and this one is actually viable, this is something that could realistically be done to find that middle ground in time to kill between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. This is quite simply increase the rate of fire across the board for all weapons. Basically just build rapid fire into every gun in the game, and then of course still offer that option of rapid fire for the guns that have that option currently, but that would just increase it more on top of that. This adjustment would have no impact whatsoever on those really finely tuned damage and range values for the guns, but it would still create a faster time to kill. It wouldn't be quite as fast as Black Ops 3 unless you made a massive adjustment to the rate of fire, which I don't think should be done, but a slight increase across the board would allow us to kill enemies just a little bit faster, and it might make some more people happy on both sides of it. Personally, where I stand on this is I like the slower time to kill. I like where it's at in Black Ops 4. However, I completely understand the other side of it. This is slower than we've ever seen in Call of Duty, and it's noticeably slower. And I can see why people don't like this change, because it is a very big fundamental change to Call of Duty. As a result, if they did find a happy middle ground, like increasing rate of fire across the board, I'd be quite happy with that, especially if it makes a lot of other people happy with that and makes them start enjoying the game more. Now, realistically, are they going to do something like this? I kinda doubt it. The entire game is really designed around having that slower time to kill. The fact that you have the EKIA system instead of just kills, where basically getting an assist counts as a kill and everything like that, that's all based around the fact that we have that slower time to kill. So I don't think it's going to change, but for those people that are currently asking them to reduce the health to 125, I'd recommend straying away from that argument because developers would look at that and be like, no, that's not an option, that can't happen. However, if you suggest an increase to fire rates across the board, that's something that's a bit easier to swallow. That's something that could potentially be changed. Of course, though, I'd like to know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. First off, do you like the current time to kill in Black Ops 4, or do you think it should be faster, like in previous Call of Duty games? And second, what do you guys think of the compromise of increasing the fire rate across the board to help bring that time to kill value a little bit more to where we're used to in Call of Duty? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah.